Well, I said to you at the time, when the Riyadh season was announced, when HE got involved, this is going to be a game changer. But even I didn't realise what a game changer is. Well, it's a great fight. The two best two light heavyweights in the world. Last time round, it was an excellent fight. They displayed all their skills. It's a rematch.
Frank Warren believes the Beterbiev versus Bivol fight will revolutionize boxing, setting a new benchmark for future promotions and rivalries in the sport. Artur Beterbiev's approach to training and fight preparation centers on a balanced commitment to both mental and physical readiness. He emphasizes discipline and a continuous drive to improve, highlighting that his success is rooted in consistent effort and pushing himself to new limits with each fight. While focused on his personal development, Beterbiev acknowledges and respects his competition. His mindset, both in training and during the actual fight, is one of calm composure, where he remains unaffected by emotions or external distractions, dedicating himself entirely to the task at hand.
People think I'm a good boxer and have more attention on me, but it's not true. I'm not a good boxer yet.
This composed demeanor extends to his fighting strategy, where he stresses the importance of adaptability. Beterbiev acknowledges the need to adjust his approach depending on his opponent, noting that while he maintains a strong fighting style, he is always ready to modify his tactics as the fight unfolds. His success, he believes, is a result of his patience and ability to wait for the right moment to strike.
Of money.
It's very difficult to answer. If you talk about in sport, I'm always looking to get titles, not money. Since I'm kid growing up, I'm always more important is titles, not money. Never be money but money is good too,
Gareth Davies have weighed in on Beterbiev's past fights, noting the challenges he faced, particularly in his initial encounter with Bivol. While Bivol controlled the early rounds with technical boxing, Beterbiev's power became more pronounced as the fight progressed, allowing him to take control in the later stages. This shift in momentum reflects Beterbiev's ability to adjust and overpower his opponent when the right moment arrives. The rematch, however, is expected to be more competitive, with Bivol likely coming in with a refined strategy based on lessons learned from their first meeting.
But I think this is arguably the greatest card of all time.
Yeah, I was looking, because the past 18 to 24 months, we've often had this conversation of, wow, look at this card. When have we seen this? We saw the LA card, the Terence Crawford Madrimov card. But this one, every single fight is 1,000,000% a pay-per-view in some part of the world, whichever way you look at it.
The anticipation surrounding the rematch has generated considerable excitement within the boxing community, with figures like Frank Warren praising the event as a potential game changer for the sport. Warren believes the fight will set a new benchmark for boxing promotions thanks to its star-studded lineup and the fierce rivalries that will unfold across multiple weight classes.
Put to bed, isn't it? This looks amazing.
Well, I said to you at the time, when the Riyadh season was announced, when HE got involved, this is going to be a game changer. But even I didn't realise what a game changer it's going to be. And this card on the 22nd is something special, Ali. When you look at it, every fight on there is a magnificent fight.
Former champions like Carl Froch have also weighed in, noting that Bivol will need to intensify his efforts, particularly toward the end of the fight, to match Beterbiev's relentless pressure. Froch acknowledged that Beterbiev pushed himself to the limit in their previous encounter, which may have affected the judges' scoring in the later rounds.
So I can't wait for the rematch. I just think Bivol maybe needs to look a bit more interested, if that's fair, towards the end of the fight. Maybe around 10, 11 and 12, I think he needs to get more shots off, because he finished slow. Beterbiev put it on him a little bit more. It looked like he wanted to be in there a bit more. It looked like he was trying to win and trying to...
Support for Beterbiev also comes from renowned figures like Roy Jones, who expressed admiration for Beterbiev's power and unflappable demeanor in the ring. Jones even went as far as to say that he would have loved to add Beterbiev's strength to his own skill set during his prime, praising the Russian's consistency and composure.
Mainly just his power. His power along with his aggression and with his subtle face. He never changes his expression, which is a beautiful thing.
On the other hand, boxing expert Sean Zettel suggested that Beterbiev could face a formidable challenge in the form of David Benavidez, who could potentially defeat the Russian champion. Zettel pointed out that Beterbiev's front foot fighting style would mean he would be directly engaging with Benavidez's own powerful punches, making the matchup an intriguing clash of styles.
Hey, what's up everybody, it's your man Sean Zettel, and I thought I'd follow up on that post I had yesterday where I think David Benavidez can stop Artur Beterbiev. And, it got met with a lot of dismissal and people scoffing and making fun. But, just to start, styles make fights. And I do think that Beterbiev is a guy, unlike Caleb Plant, unlike Demetrius Andrade and Alexander Gvozdyk, that is going to move into the power. He's a front foot fighter. He can move any direction, but he's primarily more of a front foot fighter.
The sheer power of Beterbiev has even left seasoned observers in awe, with Lonnie B recalling how his father was initially hesitant to let him spar with Beterbiev, fully aware of the Russian's formidable strength. Similarly, during an interview with Fight Hub TV, an interviewer expressed disbelief at the raw power Beterbiev demonstrated while hitting the heavy bag, a testament to the kind of strength that continues to impress even the most experienced in the sport.
Well, I mean, I definitely can say when I was at the Gashek fight in Philly, when they did the unification, I've been to heavyweight fights, I've seen Wilder, I hear the punches ringside of heavyweights. Right. But when he was punching Gashek, those punches stood out like to a point where I couldn't believe. So, I mean, that's me hearing the punches. What did it, I don't want to say feel, but like...
You want me to tell you what it feel like? Listen, I'll tell you a story. When I first sparred with Arthur, my pops, like he's my boxing father. Like he said, and he's like a father figure. He's been there for me since I was 16. But he told me, now, all my years of boxing, I sparred with Cal Frock, Chad Dawson, Lucian Butte, Troy Ross, like real champions.
You fought Kovalev.
I fought Kovalev.
Yeah.
And when he saw him, he said, they called me to go spar with him. He said, and my pops, he know who I am. He know I get when it comes to boxing, I love boxing. Like, I really think I'm the best. So he said, he tried to let me down easy. He said, nah. You don't need that. We don't need that.
Lonnie B further emphasized the incredible strength of Artur Beterbiev, stating, Artur's pressure is completely different. He's physically a beast, incredibly strong. Artur isn't going to slow down like Joe Smith did. And if, or rather when, Artur catches him in a fight, I guarantee it will be over. Meanwhile, Beterbiev has reflected on his own performance against Bivol, admitting that he could have done better and that luck played a role in his previous victories. Despite his self-criticism, he remains focused on improvement.
If be honest, I always more critic of myself. And even all my last 20 fights, because of luck, I win them by KO. I'm always complain about my skills, performance, That's why I don't like what I did. I mean, I want to do more.
The debate surrounding the fight between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol continues to spark differing opinions. Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas described the bout as incredibly close, with neither fighter gaining a clear advantage throughout. He noted that Beterbiev managed to secure key rounds with impactful moves near the end, possibly influencing the judges' scoring. However, former boxer Robert Garcia offered a contrasting view, believing that Bivol's precision and cleaner punches were enough to win the fight, with Bivol's technique standing out over Beterbiev's power.
I had a very close fight. A lot of close rounds. I thought there were rounds that Beterbiev actually stole late or took late, closed the show.
Teddy Atlas said that he understood why the fight could have gone either way, but revealed that he had Beterbiev winning by 1 round. Atlas commented, close fight, lot of close rounds. I can see why people are conflicted. You know what? I'm not gonna judge anyone. I judge the fight, but I'm not gonna judge anyone because I get it's subjective in certain ways. There's 2 ways to look at it. 2 fighters, close fight, a lot of close rounds. Atlas went on to explain that he had Beterbiev winning by a slim margin, won a single round, attributing his victory to his ability to secure key rounds at critical moments. I had it 115-113 Beterbiev, yeah, because I thought he won the championship rounds. I thought it was a really tight fight. I thought that, as I often do, a fight like this comes down to geography. Who gets to own the geography, the place in the ring, that suits their talents, strengths better than the other guy? Who gets to own that space, that real estate if you will, more than the other guy? In the end, I thought very close and slight that Beterbiev did. Offering a different viewpoint, former boxer Robert Garcia believed that Dmitry Bivol did enough to win, particularly because of his more precise and cleaner punches. Garcia argued that Bivol was more effective with his technique.
So, it depends on how you see it. Like I told you, I'm telling you, I personally thought Bivol pulled it off, but it could have gone either way. I'm not disputing it was a robbery or anything like that. It was a close fight.
In a similar vein, professional boxer Conor Benn acknowledged that while Bivol had strong rounds, Beterbiev ultimately controlled the fight, wearing down his opponent as it progressed. Benn firmly believed Beterbiev won the fight, citing his patient and disciplined approach even when losing rounds. He admired how Beterbiev stayed the course and demonstrated killer instinct despite the ebb and flow of the contest.
Everyone online saying Bivol, I'm watching that fight and I'm just watching it going, Beterbiev's in control of the fight. Nothing Bivol was throwing back was effective. He, was applying pressure. He's not the fastest of starters, but he breaks your man down. And I believe he done enough to win. Definitely won the second half in my opinion. Bivol had, a few good moments, but you could really see the wear and tear and Bivol slowing down. In my opinion, that's how I saw the fight.
Ben added, I do think Beterbiev won that fight. He won by a round, but then again, it's all down to who's watching you. And what you like, who you're a fan of. I think Beterbiev is a killer. I think he's patient. I think he's disciplined the way he, managed to stay the course. He may be losing rounds, but he stays the course and he stays disciplined in doing what he's got to do. Roy Jones Jr. provided a more balanced perspective, arguing that the fight was too evenly matched to declare a definitive winner and calling for a rematch. Jones acknowledged the strengths of both fighters, with Beterbiev impressing him with his boxing skills and Bivol excelling in defense and counterpunching. Despite Bivol's early lead, Jones felt that Beterbiev's strong finish tilted the scales in his favor, ultimately advocating for a draw due to the fight's close nature.
What up? Being that I was the last unified undisputed champion, probably about 25 to 40 years ago, I don't know how long it was. Last night we had a very fantastic fight. A fight that I thought could have gone either way, but what happens, happens. However it goes, nobody won nor lost the fight by 4 points. So that's ridiculous, which is why I say we need an immediate rematch.
Jones continued by acknowledging the strengths both fighters displayed, noting that Beterbiev surprised him with his boxing skills, while Bivol excelled in defense and counterpunching. Both guys did a lot to change. Beterbiev has shown me more than he has ever shown me before. He actually can box, and I was surprised. Bivol was a very good defender, which we knew. He was a good counterpuncher, which we knew. He jumped out an early lead, but it all came down to that Beterbiev did finish the fight strong, and he came out stronger. So that's why I feel that the fight should be a draw. Critics of the judges' decisions, such as Paulie Malignaggi, raised concerns about the scoring in round 4, where he believed Beterbiev's forward movement was overvalued, potentially skewing the judges' perception. Malignaggi felt that Bivol's effective combinations were underappreciated. He argued that the decision to award Beterbiev round 4 demonstrated a bias towards keeping the fight competitive. Malignaggi added, the fact that you're giving round 4 to Beterbiev shows you that there's something working in your mind. I thought Bivol actually won. Meanwhile, Timothy Bradley emphasized that while the fight was close and controversial, it was not a robbery, drawing comparisons to the famous 90s bout between Felix Trinidad and Oscar de la Hoya. Bradley explained that Bivol's loss of momentum in the later rounds ultimately influenced the judges, who awarded the final 3 rounds to Beterbiev. After rewatching the fight without commentary, Bradley himself scored the fight for Beterbiev by 2 rounds. Bradley added, this wasn't a highway robbery, people. I just want to let y'all know that right now. After watching the fight, even calling the fight, I had to pick 'em. I was like, man, I like Bivol's work. But I have to say, after the fight, I went back and watched the fight again. No sound, nothing, none of that. And I scored it for Beterbiev, 2 rounds over him. Watching the fight without sound, he scored it for Beterbiev by 2 rounds. Frank Warren, who viewed the fight neutrally, highlighted Bivol's strong start and technical prowess in the early rounds. However, he pointed out that Bivol seemed to lose his momentum as the fight progressed, which allowed Beterbiev to capitalize and gain control. This shift in the fight's momentum likely played a role in the judges' perception and ultimately influenced the final result.
Well, I was a neutral in it, and I was watching the fight, and it was a close fight. It was a close fight. I thought Bivol won, but it was a close fight. But as you say, it was technical, and there were moments in it where Bivol was controlling it with his jab, and then he stops.
Darren Barker echoed Frank Warren's views, describing the fight as fantastic, but highlighting the subjective nature of scoring in such a closely contested match. He recognized the contrasting styles of the fighters, Bivol's boxing and movement versus Beterbiev's relentless pressure, and acknowledged how personal preferences could influence the perception of who won. While Barker didn't score the fight round by round, he felt Beterbiev ultimately came out on top. Despite believing that Bivol had slightly edged it, Barker didn't view the decision as a robbery. He expressed a desire to re-watch the fight as it was an enjoyable and exciting contest that deserved further analysis.
Unbelievable fight, it really was fantastic. I mean, it ebbed and flowed, it was a bit of everything. Look, scoring subjective, what do you like? Do you like the boxing, the nice flurries from Bivol, the movement, or do you like the pressure? A lot of the shots were landing on the gloves of Bivol. Look, I personally, my gut was, I didn't score it round by round, my gut was Bivol had won that fight, but look, I just want to see it again. I want to see it again. It was fantastic. Look, I don't think it was a robbery. I felt that Bivol had won the fight, but look, it was one of those. I'll have to watch it back because it was a joy to watch, mate.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates on all things boxing. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload, and let us know your thoughts on the Beterbiev versus Bivol fight in the comments below. See you in the next one.